X ed teachers of Reddit, what is the stupidest question you've ever gotten? Pays_in_snake says, a kid in my health class asked if you could keep sperm, like pets in a fish tank. ASMCB says, when I was about 12-13 I asked my sex ed teacher if people could get an orgasm with food. She answered me that it would depend on where do you put the food. I wasn't expecting that. Yuna says, my mom was raised in the Soviet Union, there was no sex education. She got pregnant at 17, married my dad, etc. We started talking about sex ed and she blurts out, I was so stupid that I thought you only got pregnant if you're in a certain position. Cue horrified face and drop of subject. Pizza 143 says, this was a question asked by me when I was in 7th grade. My teacher had explained what ejaculation was and for some reason, my 7th grade mind thought it was the boy equivalent to periods. I asked where boys put tampons. Yay, that was embarrassing. Name deleted says, cousin was a sex ed teacher for a while, before he got his girlfriend pregnant and had to take a higher paying job. Irony, anyway, this kid asked if he could get a gorilla pregnant because he wasn't interested in girls. Name deleted says, the sex ed teacher was telling us that the semen is alkaline and the vagina is acidic. A kid in my class blurted out, so wouldn't that form a salt and water? Rose 3669 says, I always hated the pictures of a STD-riddled penis or vagina followed by the obvious joke, doesn't everyone's look like that? Ostentatious 72 says, volunteered at a teen education program for Planned Parenthood in the late 80s. Had a 16-year-old or so girl that had gotten pregnant but swore she had used the pill. Turns out she was inserting the pill into lady parts instead of ingesting orally. Elamani says, not a teacher, but in high school our health teacher, during the sex ed unit, told us a story of a student, who was now graduated, who was told by her mother that if a boy poked her in the belly button she would get pregnant. Enter high school. During her junior year she was poked in the belly button by a boy in her circle group. So she slapped him and broke down into uncontrollable sobs. It took nearly half an hour to convince her that no, she wasn't pregnant. BK Buck says, was taking a bath when about 8 months pregnant. X walks in, all color drains from his face and he panics. He thought the baby's umbilical cord was attached to my belly button and that with my belly button underwater, I was in fact drowning our child. RANDALLFLA 666 says, in 4th grade sex ed a friend of mine raised his hand and asked if it was possible to break a boner like you can your arm. The teacher answered no, I've since learned that you can sprain it. We went the rest of the year thinking our boners were invincible, occasionally running around yelling, super boner. Asian Bar Mitzvah says, what happen if a penis gets stuck in a vagina? Grade 7 an album cover says, one kid during an open question portion of our sex ed class in middle school asked if a penis has a bone in it. When the teacher said no, he responded with, oh no. He was always really weird in school, but now that I'm older I think he was just a legendary troll. Want_give_no_credit says, when I was like 8, I used to think that getting a boner was bad. I was like worried, I don't want to hurt my girl, how can this be fun for any of us? I heard about men being incapable of having sex and needing Viagra. In my ignorant mindset, I thought Viagra was used to make you go soft, limp. Regretted_ says, if I have sex underwater and get pregnant, will the baby be a mermaid? Responded with the deepest sigh ever and a slow turn to the next question. Firelime says, not a sex ed teacher, but am a middle school teacher. One boy, 13, told me he wasn't going to get his girlfriend pregnant because she always douched with Coca-Cola after sex. Whoopty-doo 12 says, if a white man has sex with a black woman and then has sex with a white woman, can the white woman have a black baby? Name deleted says, I'm not a teacher, but when I was pregnant with my first child I got in a huge argument with all of my other coworkers over the baby's location. I said it was in the uterus, they swore it was on top of the uterus. You think you know everything just cause you got pregnant for a few months? I've been a mother for 30 years, I know what I'm talking about. Name deleted says, not a sex ed teacher, but I've had my younger brother come to me for help. He wanted me to buy him and his girlfriend Plan B. Being the good older brother that I am, sometimes, I drove them to Shoppers, and paid $40 for the Plan B. She takes it. Then I lecture them on safe sex practices, I see a dumb look on their faces. I immediately ask if they knew what condoms were for. His girlfriend, with a completely serious face, looked at me and said, "But I don't like the taste of condoms." Yeah, that's right. He got his first blowjob, came in her mouth, she swallowed, and thought she was going to get pregnant. Clint_Flicker says, is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it?